joined the 9-4 Hoovers at the young age of 11, which is sad to say is a common occurrence in the hood.
Hold on, that was an OTF. We ain't gonna speed pad that now. Only the family. I would got mine to say OTH though. Only the Hoovers. Yeah. If I was Bam, what it do, man? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to another video, another reaction, man. I got me a little protein drink, man. A Nuri protein, 30 grams of unfiltered milk, 1 gram of sugar, 150 calories, bro. Only 1 gram of sugar, that's crazy. 30 grams of protein though, man. I do a little taste here, man. I've been needing more protein, gang. You know what I'm saying? I've never had a protein drink in a can though, but this little 30 grams, this right here should put me at, you know what I'm saying, where I need to be at, you feel me? So I was just thinking like, and I still do my energy drinks, but instead of an energy drink, why not drink something that's gonna add value to what I got going on, which is 30 grams of protein. 30 grams of protein is amazing, you feel me? So we gonna tap into that before we tap into this. We did. Let's see how it tastes though. It smells like a strawberry milkshake. Let's see. It ain't bad, but it ain't McDonald's. You feel me? But it ain't bad. It ain't bad at all. It gives a crazy aftertaste though. So if any of y'all into health and working out and things of that nature, try it, man. It's lactose free, so it shouldn't bloat you up and give you gas. You feel me? But it's not really fulfilling. I'm not a milk drinker anyway, so I'm drinking this strictly for the 30 grams of protein. I'm being straight up. That's why I'm drinking it so fast. I should have brought me some water. But anyway, man, we back on the second channel, man. We back with another reaction, bro. Back in Cali. Shout out Warren Cali, man. Y'all make sure y'all sub Warren Cali. We need my dog to get to a million. And make sure y'all sub me up, because we trying to get to that 100K by the top of the top. But anyway, what we're reacting on today, right, is it's an 11-year-old kid, right? He joined the Hoovers, you know what I'm saying, when he was 11. You know what I mean? He's a child. When he turned 11, he decided he wanted to be a Hoover. And by 13, his ass was dead.
To another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of a young Hoover member named Daquan Allen. Daquan Allen will face the life of many young kids growing up in the hood will face, surrounded by violence and a poverty-ridden community that was full of crime and influencers who were into the fast life, which were gang members. Daquan grew up in a dangerous area, in the Hoovers in between 9 Deuce and the 9-4 Hoovers turf. He was heavily influenced at a young age by the gang members in his community. He joined the 9-4 Hoovers at the young age of 11, which is sad to say is a common occurrence in the hood.
Hold on, that was an OTF. We gonna speed pad that now. Only the family. I would got mine to say OTH though. Only the Hoovers. Yeah. If I was a Hoover, you smell me.
At the young age of 11, which is sad to say is a common occurrence in the hood. Many young kids join gangs early, and many don't make it to an old age in that lifestyle. Being in the streets, you're not guaranteed to even make it to 18. And unfortunately, that was the outcome of young Daquan's life. He was 13 by 2009, and that's the year when his life would come to an end. The Hoovers are notoriously one of the most hated gangs in all of LA County, and have been for decades, with more rivals than out.
Hey, why are the Hoovers most hated though? You know what I'm saying? I done asked this question a million times, and nobody has really gave me a for sure answer. So I need LA to check in, man. Like, if you tapped in, you ain't got to be no Hoover. You ain't got to be no op of the Hoovers or none of that. I just want to know, like, why so many sets don't like the Hoovers, bro. And what I've noticed with my observation with doing these reactions, right, it's so many Hoover sets that it don't even matter who like the Hoovers, because it's so many Hoover sets, bro. But why the Hoover be having smoke with everybody? You feel me?
One of the Hoover's close allies during this time point was a gang from the east side of South Central called the Main Street CRIPS. Up until 2009, the Main Streets and the Hoovers had close ties for several years and even shared some of the same enemies. So them hanging out was a common thing to see, and going to each other's events happened all the time. In August of 2009, the Main Streets had a party, which the Hoovers went to. but this led to an altercation between both sides, and it got physical. It later turned to shooting, which no one would die
I knew
from.
it.
Many thought this situation could be fixed, and it could be settled, but it would be the opposite, and it would lead to a war that has been going on for over a decade. And this will also lead to Daquan's death at the age of 13, and him being the first death in this war. About noon on August 16th, 2009, Daquan and his cousin Charnay were returning from a swap meet on 87th and Broadway. Charnay was wearing an orange hoodie, and Daquan had an orange bandana out his pocket. They were walking on Broadway towards 89th Street when Charnay saw a man approaching them. Charnay wondered who he was since she never seen him before. The man had on a white shirt, blue jeans, and a hoodie. Charnay and Daquan were walking by a party supply store when the guy walked up to him and asked Daquan, where was he from? Daquan said,
There we go. There we go, bro. I say it every time, bro, and y'all be like, "Done, it really ain't that serious, bro." In LA, in gangland, if somebody asks you where you from, gang, that's, bro. It don't matter what you say, gang. It's finna be bad. You know what I'm saying? It's finna be negative. You feel me? Like, in every time I react to these reactions and somebody start with that, where you from, cuz? Where you from, blood? And next thing you know, flacka. It always ends like that. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was watching Mr. Organic, right? He's a YouTuber. Him and Tall Guy. If y'all don't know him, look him up, man. They kind of the OGs of this YouTube joint, especially in the YouTube black community. You feel me? I was watching them, and Mr. Organic was like, him and Tall Guy stopped by Randy's Donut. And the first thing the dude asked him was, where y'all from, cuz? And when they proceeded to say, we don't even bang, he proceeded to try to rob their ass. You feel me? So ain't nothing good coming from where you from, cuz. So if you in LA, bro, or if you somewhere where it's gang infested, bro, and somebody walk up to you and say, where you from? Run, pull your gun out, go ahead and kill him. Straight up and down. Cuz it ain't gonna be nothing positive about that.
9-4 Hoover. The guy replied, oh yeah, is that right? He pulled out a gun from his waist. Daquan and Charnay started running away. As Charnay was running, she heard 5 shots. She looked back and saw Daquan was on the ground. He had 2 holes in his chest. Charnay then ran inside the party supply store and called 911. Daquan was later found laid out on the ground with 4 gunshot wounds. He later died from his injuries. Besides Charnay, there were 2 other witnesses who seen the shooting. They would later testify. One of the witnesses was named Alexis. He was driving on Broadway when he saw Daquan and the older guy standing on the corner of 88th Place and Broadway. They were facing each other at a distance of 3 feet.
Killed the kid,
Alexis
bro.
continued on his way. Then he heard gunshots. Alexis said he made a series of turns and came back to 88th Place. He said he saw the guy running, and he looked like he was running for his life. A white car drove up fast and passed by Alexis. Before Alexis could reach Broadway, he looked in his rearview mirror. He saw the guy jump into the white car. Alexis drove on and saw Daquan on the ground crying. Another person named Angela was in front of her house on 88th Place when she heard about 5 or 6 shots. The shots were coming from the corner of Broadway and 88th Place. Angela went to the corner where she saw a guy walking towards her. She saw the guy had his right hand under his shirt and was holding a gun. The shooter crossed the street, and when a white car arrived, the shooter got inside the car and drove off, but not before Angela had seen the last 3 numbers of the license plate. The white car was later spotted that day around 11:15. Police were assigned to Daquan's murder case, and they went to the territory of the Main Street CRIPS looking for leads. That's when they found the white car. The car was later stopped by the police. The driver of the car was a man named Kenneth. He was a known member of the Main Street CRIPS. Kenneth was driving with a suspended license, so the police impounded the car. Once the police had the car, they examined the car for evidence. A man named Christopher fingerprints were found on the tequila box in the car. A few days later, Daquan's cousin Charnay was shown a photo lineup by the police. She identified Christopher as the shooter. Just 3 days after the shooting, a candlelight was held for Daquan on August.
Dumbass, bro. All over. I mean, it ain't over there because I do understand, like, but from my understanding, no blood had been shed yet, right? You know what I'm saying? I know the Main Street Crips and the Hoovers, they don't get along till this day. You know what I'm saying? But before this, like, it just was a little bang out. No blood was shed, right? And this nigga was a grown-ass man, bro, asking a kid where he from.
19th, police say a rival gang member believed to be from Main Street walked up to mourners and started shooting. 2 women and 1 man were hit, but all survived. Shortly after Daquan...
That's crazy as hell.
Daquan's cousin Charnay was shown a photo lineup by the police. She identified Christopher as the shooter. Just 3 days after the shooting, a candlelight was held for Daquan on August 19th. Police say a rival gang member believed to be from Main Street walked up to mourners and started shooting. 2 women and 1 man.
Nigga walked up to folk grieving, cool. Tried to blick him. I thought King Von them were the first one to do that. So what y'all telling me is they been getting busy in Cali though. Like before it was a Chirac, bro. It was a South Central LA, huh? I believe that. I really do.
Hit, but all survived. Shortly after Daquan's death, Hoover members went into Main Street Crips territory and killed a Main Street member and shot another. So the shooting at Daquan's candlelight was revenge in a cycle that would never end. Christopher was later arrested at his home on August 28, 2009. Several factors led to his arrest, like several witnesses identifying him as the shooter, and also his cell phone placing him to the crime when Daquan was murdered. For killing Daquan, Christopher will later receive 50 years to life.
Filthy ball.
Daquan was only a 13-year-old who many say was a good kid who got involved with the wrong crowd, and that story is a common one. R.I.P. to him. This will conclude this episode. If you have...
They gave him a cool filthy ball, man. These folks ain't gonna play the radio with you, bruh. But my thing is, you know what I'm saying? They didn't name the dude Christopher. They didn't say his age, but the fact that he went to prison and the fact that Warren Kelly said that he was a man, that let me know he was old enough, bro. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I get it. Lil' homie got nuts. Lil' homie got heart. You ask him where he from. He say, I'm from 94 Hoover. That's heart, bro. He could have easily said, I don't know. You know what I mean? But he said, I'm from 94 Hoover. You dig? And you gunned him down. You couldn't have grabbed him and whooped him. Or you couldn't have beat his ass and sent him back over there, bro. You killed a kid, bro. How you even know he was a real for sure 94 Hoover? He probably was somebody that just lived over there and just banged the set just off of living over there, bro. He was a child, bro. Now, I do understand that, you know what I mean, when you a child, you ain't got no business banging no set. You need to be in the house playing the PlayStation or something like that. But at the end of the day, bro, he was only doing what he knew how to do, bro. You feel me? And that's just crazy as hell. And don't get me wrong, nobody should ever lose their life. But I guess if it was another 13-year-old, if it was a Main Street Crip, a 13-year-old Main Street Crip, then I could kind of, But the fact that this was a grown-ass man, bro. You know what I'm saying? With this messed up mentality, bro. And he unalived a child. Didn't even give him a chance to change his mind about banging the set. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying he would have changed his mind. He probably would have grew up to be one of the most fierce 9-4 Hoovers to ever breathe, bro. But all I'm saying is that he was a kid, gang. He was a child, bro. That's all I'm saying. He did. Anyway, though, Marlon, know how y'all feel about those folk in the comment section down below, man. Don't forget to like that video. Don't forget to sub it up. Make sure you ring that bell. After y'all ring it up, though, make sure y'all hit Augs. Don't need y'all to be missing none of these banger folk. You smell me? Mark life or no life. Mark will know with me. I know we coming OT and we getting straight out the mud, man. Until the next one, y'all be easy. Y'all stay safe. Remember, law of attraction, law of vibration, man. 2026, man, we attracting everything we want out of life, bro. Not only are we gonna attract it, we're gonna be patient for it, and we're gonna work hard as hell in our patience. You feel me? Let's do that. I love y'all though, folks. I'm gonna get back with y'all on the next one. Let's get it. Gang. You know we got the streets, nigga. We got the trap too. I say my trap doing numbers. I just bust another jewel. Got a player around the corner. Hey. I say my trap doing numbers like that 05 summer. Got a quarter pound on me. Hey. The trap doing numbers.